Hello, welcome to the Scale Model Club, and on this week's show, Honda's RCV213V Repsol Honda.
Great.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Scale Model Club. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and all that stuff. Push the notification bell. So this is Tamyhia's, I don't know, I can't remember what scale it was, Repsol Honda. Right, so we'll just quickly start this one off. I haven't got an unboxing, not unless I posted it, but I've lost some video footage. So this is the frame and the swinging arm, which is the front and the back of frames of the bike if we're not bike people. And I've painted these in a gloss black primer because I'm going to be, and it's the same primer that goes with Vallejo's aluminium metal coat colour. I had a few problems with the coat, so as you can see there, I sanded a few bits down before I painted it in the silver colour, just to get rid of some imperfections that were in the paint. I don't know if everybody's into bikes. I'm not really into bikes, but I am into modelling, and these models are fantastic. So this is the engine. This is painted in exactly the same way. So I've stuck it all together to this point. It has been gloss blacked, primered, and then painted with the silver, which I'm now doing now. So the engine will look exactly the same as these. First light coat, really light coat, give it time to dry and put another coat over the top. The gloss in the black helps the aluminium shine, and I really like the colour and the way it comes out. I think it looks really nice. Whether it looks like a frame from a motorbike, I'm not sure, but the overall finish I thought was really nice. So I hope everybody's doing well. I know this isn't my usual, but I've done one of these bikes before and didn't film it and stuff, and thought, oh, I saw this one cheap and bought it and thought, well, we'll do a bike, because I think Tamyia kits are phenomenally good. You get the kit, rubber tyres, brake lines, springs for the suspension, the wheels work. They are genuinely a really nice model. They are quite long, a little bit fiddly to build. You do have to do a lot of building painting, but this is why this is in two parts. So this is basically me painting and building the main chassis, and then I'll do the exterior fairing and stuff later on. So after painting the engine in this lovely silver colour, the actual barrels should be painted black. So that there is a metallic black, so I thought I'd give it a little bit of a metallic-y edge to it, and it looked quite nice. The flywheel, I think that's the flywheel. It's either the flywheel or it's the outer clutch assembly, I'm not 100% sure, is painted in this nice gold leaf colour by hand, so I don't get it everywhere. But yeah, so there's lots of sub-assembly building, painting, doing that bit first, building that piece up, and then moving on to the next bit. So it's quite involved, but it's a lovely model. They all are. So now we're going to start on. So that's the engine, the frame, the swinging arm done, and these are a few bits for the rear suspension. So cut them out from your sprue. Bit of a clean up, glue them all together, paint them. I don't think I've got footage of me actually putting this together, but you sort of, this is one that you put a spring in the middle, put the spring on, glue the top and bottom together, and you've got the rear suspension spring. So there's a bit of bit of black, bit of silver, bit of gold, and there is, I think it's actually a decal on there, but we'll spin past all this. I have tried to use, that's the finished article. I've followed the painting instructions just to the letter, because I don't have many motorbike colours. All my colours are for German, English, tanks and aircraft, so, and the odd car. So let's fit the engine into the frame. I thought the frame came out nice. Really nice finish on that. So with these kits, which I really like, is all these bits are now bolted together. So there's no plastic pins or anything. So once you've got your engine in place as to where you want it, you get your little bag of screws. Let's open them. Little tiny screwdriver that comes with the kit. Let's see if we can open this without actually throwing all the nuts and bolts everywhere, because they are really tiny. So I'll get my scalpel. Oh no, why don't we use our sprue cutters, because I'm too lazy to get the proper item. There we go. So we have lots of screws, lots of different things, bolting the engine in, wheels, all sorts. On the instructions, you have got a picture, which is a 1:1 scale picture of the bolt you need to use, and it also tells you the colour, because they come in black and chrome. And you just get hold of your screw, hold it up against the picture. If it's exactly the same size and colour, that's the screw you need to use. They are fiddly, but they do look nice when they're in, and I do like the idea. It's just nice to have something else. It's not just plastic and you're not just gluing it together. So it's a tiny screw. I think I cut this piece out, but it did actually go ping off into the carpet monster. I found it by the miracle of the torch, the dreaded enemy of the carpet monster. So yeah, pop the screw in the hole and then just do a couple of turns with the little miniature screwdriver that comes in the kit. As you can see on the engine, there's some, I think they're fuel lines or clutch lines or whatever, they're little rubber hoses. I've actually bought for the kit from Tamyia, which is an upgrade kit, some braided hose, and I'll show you that at the end. That was a little bit extra, but I think it looks nice. I do like the finish on that frame, you know, it has a really nice colour. That's actually Vallejo's metal colour aluminium, and I think what gives it that deep shine is the gloss black, which is what is recommended by Vallejo to put in there. The only thing I will say is wash your parts for this one, because even though I primed them, I did have trouble with some strange paint effects. So after the first few things I painted, I then went back and gave the whole thing a wash, because I think it's got a lot of release agent from the moulding on it. I thought I'd let this play out, because you know, we don't often bolt things together in our hobby. Let's have a quick search through lots of different screws. That looks like the one. I really must do some nice little quick models after this one, because it's been a long time since I've managed to film and post something, and it's because this has taken so much of my time up even to get to the stage where it is now. But I'm enjoying it. It's such a nice model to build. Everything fits together. The moulding is fantastic. The detail's brilliant. Even if you're not into bikes, I mean, I'm not. I don't mind the odd bike. I'm not a bike person. I don't have a bike. Don't have a bike license. But I do like building them. So I think that's all the nuts and bolts there to hold the engine into its frame. So that's the clutch and stuff. I did that side, and you can see the ram filters on the top there. Yeah, it's getting there. So next we fit the rear suspension in the back and the swinging arm on, I think. No, that's the wheels, right. I bought two spray cans for this. One was the orange and one's the red that are indicated in the kit because I wanted it to look as close as I could without trying to find colours in my kit, and I just don't have, like, you know, Asbo orange. Similarly, I painted the wheels separately, and that's a rubber tyre fitted on. And now I'm going to show you these special decals. Well, not special, but they're different decals for tyres. And the first time I did these, I mucked them up. I did a McLaren F1 car, and I mucked them up because I didn't know how to use them. So these are reverse decals that work a lot like, and I don't know if everyone's ever had these, but the old children's tattoos. So I use the Marc fit. You cut your decal out. You really want to cut it the shape that you're going to use. I should have cut the bottom off that one because it made it a little bit awkward. But so you take the top half off, and then you have to peel the bottom half off. And the bottom half is what has the decal. It's a little bit tricky because it takes a bit of time, and try not to cut your fingers off at the same time. So you peel the backing off. So you peel the backing off, there we go. Now you put that on the tyre so that the decal's on the tyre and your backing paper is on the top. Once you've got it in the right place, which is awkward. I really should have shown you it on the rear tyre because the rear tyre is a bit fatter and there's a little bit more room to work with. But so yeah, so you get it into places where you want it. You then use your Marc Fit Strong on the top of the backing paper, so it soaks through the backing paper and onto the decal, and the decal will then attach itself to the tyre. And once it's stuck there, you can just peel the backing paper off and it gets stuck. So what you don't do is what I first did when I saw these, is you don't wet the paper in your little pot and then slide it onto the tyre. It doesn't work like that. You have to put the decal and the paper on the tyre first, wet it with some Marc Fit. So I put quite a lot on and then moulded it around with my little tweezers so that I got the decal where I wanted it. And you leave it same as a normal decal, like that. It's a bit difficult to see because, strangely enough, I filmed me putting the red decal on the black tyre. I should have really done the white one, but you know. So yeah, you give this a few minutes. A couple of little test tyres, a bit longer. If you've waited too long, well, not too long, but if it's not really working, just put a bit more Marc Fit on the top and it'll get there. Just have to be a bit patient. So once you peel a little bit off and you notice that the decal is sticking to the tyre and not backing paper, I'm trying to rush that. I should have really left it a bit longer. There we go. And the next thing I did was got myself a cotton bud and just gently pushed it into place. Well, not pushed it into place, but just made sure it was stuck down. And I know you can't really see it because I didn't have it in the right angle, but that tyre now says Britax on it. Can't remember what the right one was. And that's the white one on the other side. So now we all know we shouldn't muck those up. So next up we have the brake discs. Now the brake discs are just cut out, put on a cocktail stick and then held with my pegs and my little clamps. I have painted the centrepiece gold leaf and the outside bit is chrome. So this is the decal. This is a standard decal. You'll see the difference now. So on this swinging arm, it has a lovely sort of, I think it's Bridgestone decal. So you cut your decal from your sheet, and the difference with this one is, cut that one in half or use both. Right, so I've got some special pliers there that open when you squeeze them and shut when you let go. Brilliant they are. So you can hold them. Stick that in the water, not on the actual item, and use this like a normal decal. So give it a few minutes to heat to let the water seep through the backing film. I'll go back to the brake discs in a minute. So it's come a little bit loose, so just line up where you want the decal and just slide the decal onto the area that you need it. Because if you remember on the other one, we put the paper on, soaked it through the back of the paper. Rear chain, gold leaf again on the cog, and then the actual chain itself I did in dark iron, which is a dark iron colour. It's a brilliant colour. I use it for lots of things where people say, oh, you need to do this like metallic black or matte black, but if I know it's going to be a metal, it's a brilliant colour. So this is the rear mud guard. Let's give this a gloss coat of black. Yeah, so the front brake discs I painted was gold leaf in the middle. It was silver, which is like the carrier of the centerpiece. It's difficult to explain, so I don't know what all the right words are. And the actual brake disc is in that dark iron colour. So I think they're ceramic, so they're not silver like a car's brake disc or like a normal car. They're like a dark grey colour. So let's attach the swinging arm on. So we've got our rear suspension that we made up earlier. I think that's another screw, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, so that's the suspension assembly. We're screwing that to the rear swinging arm. Which is proving to be a bit awkward. Boom, here we go. Oh, got to be careful, take it a little bit slow, take your time, because you don't want to slip and scratch any of that lovely paintwork you've just painted. So yeah, now that swinging arm is actually upside down, so you turn it the other way up. We'll attach the rear wheel to it, so the chain is fitted on, the wheel is fitted over the top of it, because they don't attach. This way you put the screw through the swinging arm through the wheel and it can still turn, but the chain doesn't turn. And this little white triangle piece of plastic you can see down the front here, that's the radiators. They're pretty same as everything else. Cut it from the sprue, give it a bit of a clean, glue it together. I'm then going to matte black it and chrome it, and then put some black wash over the top to make the fins stand out a little bit. So now we have the wheel, the brake line, the mud guard, the swinging arm all built together, and we can marry it up with the frame and the engine, which is another big long screw that goes through the middle there. The actual tyre, I like to do this. They come moulded, and they're like a matte black moulded rubber. They're like actual rubber. If you sand them, like you can see that one's been sanded a little, I think it gives it a little bit of a run-in look. Yeah, so there we have swing and arm, frame, engine, everything bolted together, ready for the next stage, exhausts. I'm not quite sure what to do with the exhaust, so I have coated them in the black primer, now coating them in the silver to give them, but it's only a light coat of silver just to give it a bit of charring. These are the front forks, so I used exactly the same colours that they say in the instructions. So there's a bit of black, a bit of silver. The gold there isn't gold leaf, that is some orange paint with clear orange mixed into it, and it turns it into this nice gold colour, and I then painted it into the gold. So that's your brake disc in the dark iron colour, and then the middle piece that is in gold, that's the gold leaf again. And I've used super glue because they're both painted. So now those two need to be attached to the wheel. And then the wheel attached to the forks, and obviously at the bottom right of your corner there in black, that's the front mudguard, which was painted at the same time as the rear mudguard in the same colour, the gloss black. So yeah, so all the colours used are all the Tamyia colours, mostly Tamyia colours, apart from that nice chrome I used from Vallejo. Mainly because I don't know enough about bikes to experiment with what colours look good or what don't look good, or what should be and shouldn't be. These are handed, so that's the wrong side. You can tell it's the wrong side because it doesn't fit. So we'll spin the wheel over and click it into place there. A good idea is why you should test fit stuff, so you don't get super glue all over your fingers and all over the product. So here we go, wheel with the brake discs fitted onto the front forks. Big screw through the middle. You don't want to over tighten this one, a bit like the rear one that goes through the swinging arm. Just do it up a little bit so it catches, and then your front wheel will still turn. If you do it over tighten, you'll just stop the front wheel from turning. It doesn't matter if you over tighten, it depends if you want the front wheel to move. There we go. And then a little bit of super glue to fit the front mudguard on. And that's the front fork assembly at the front. The only things left to do on that are to paint the brake disc, the brake calipers silver, and fit them on, which I have. Fiddly part now is the handlebars, so I painted the middle bit in the gold leaf. The handlebars are actually rubber and gloss black for handles and stuff. So we're near the end of the video now because I've basically built the bottom frame of the bike. These are the extra bits I bought, which are the braided hose, which look a bit silver but they look really nice. So make sure you like and subscribe. Come back next time to watch me paint and fit the fairings and stuff. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you next time.